A lot of women use men cheating as a trump card and don't acknowledge the things they did that deteriorated the relationship. I want to hear more accountability for relationship issues from all women, even if he cheats. Lock the doors and have a seat. Accountability for your part in the deterioration of a relationship, even if he cheats. It's too easy to use cheating as a trump card, and then you do not have to look at yourself. Is there such a thing as a serial cheater? Yes. But it's kind of like, is there such a thing as a narcissist? Yes. Is that the majority? Absolutely not. Is that the case for some? Yes. Should you assume that that's the case when it happens to you? No. Should I say more? Yes. Is there such a thing as a serial cheater? Yes. Is there also such a thing as men cheating because they don't get their needs met from within the relationship? Yes. And I think there are way more cases of that. Again, talking about probability. I'm not saying, let's bring it back to the celebrity thing. I'm not saying Offset is a serial cheater, and I'm not saying his needs were not getting met. I am saying women should get more curious about the real reasons men cheat. I already gave you a hint. Needs aren't getting met. I'll give you another hint. It's not always primarily physical needs getting unmet that lead to the physical act of cheating.
Peace. Back with another installment of Let's Talk About It. In that clip, you just heard Taylor Chandler speaking about the lack of accountability taken on by women when men are discovered to be cheating on them in a relationship. And she touched on the fact of, habitual cheaters or whatever. And it's not always, and the fact that that's not always the case. Me just being transparent, whenever I have stepped out of the relationship, it's always been because I felt like I was not being appreciated. I try to be the best partner that I could potentially be, day in and day out. I'm one of those people that you point something out that bothers you. I try to be the person to correct that. It has always been in my DNA. So it hurts a lot when you're doing the work and there's no reciprocation, or your partner feels like you should take them as they are, but they want to sit around and point out what you need to change in yourself, which they're not spending a lot of time looking at themselves in the mirror to see where they are falling short. And I used to be one of those people that would point things out and try to, because it would be, well, if you want me to correct this, then I want you to correct this, so on and so forth. And that gets tiring after a while. Because if you're the one that's doing the work and the other person is just take me as I am, it gets frustrating. And then, of course, people are always like, oh, well, you could just leave. Mostly, I've heard that sentiment from the woman's aspect, where it's just like, well, if you don't like what you're in, then just go ahead and leave. And I can understand that, and I see where you're coming from, but there might be a whole lot of variables that need to be considered in regard to taking that step to end the situation instead of staying in it and being unfaithful. Not condoning cheating at all, but I do agree that there's no real accountability, or there's no real, like, take a step back and see if if you are the problem. So this isn't in every case, like she said. Some guys just are promiscuous, and that's just what it is. And some women are just promiscuous. They'll step out too, and women cheat too, and women cheat better than men. We get caught because we're cheating with the girl across the street. Women cheat with a dude that's waiting for them to leave their significant other so then they can have their shot. They're cheating with the guy that's going to meet them on a day that they're supposed to be at work at the hotel. So just keep that in mind. Men and women cheat at the same rate. It's just when men cheat, it's the end of the world, because betrayal to women is pretty much the next thing to death. I'm exaggerating, but whatever. This is just my 2 cents. You can keep it, sell it, throw it away. It doesn't matter. Like, comment, and subscribe. And at the end of the day, like I always say when it comes to these relationship videos, you need to talk with your partner and figure out what's going on. And if you want to keep that person, then you need to do the things that they have probably been pointing out to you that you have been ignoring. Keep that in mind. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, peace.